Mr. Ralph having a little difficulty hearing us over here, so we'll get that problem working on it. But at this particular point, the Leafs and the New York Rangers are playing at Madison Square Garden, and a lot of things are on the line, not the least of which is a Maple Leaf point streak that has not been approached since Pat Quinn was in behind the bench of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And ironically, that team was also the last team to have won a playoff round. Not that anything should be read into it at this early juncture.
And it was only one playoff round. I don't know if that will
well, they lost
satisfy.
to Philadelphia the next round. Yeah.
But the one thing about it, the streak as well, is that streak ended at Madison Square Garden. That was the last win of the streak. And it was a game where the Leafs played the New York Rangers at MSG on December 26th of that season. And on a rare occasion, played the New York Islanders the next night on Long Island. That was a 3-1 loss and ended the streak. But we will go back, and I'll test your memory on some of it. I know we've talked about it. But it was a bizarre game that the Leafs were able to extend that streak to 16 games back in 2004.
We're underway as the puck is shot down into the Ranger zone. They defend the goal to the right. And it is Igor Shesterkin in goal for the New York Rangers. And Matt Murray gets the call for the Maple Leafs as the puck is in the Toronto zone. Played high on the glass and ends up caroming into the crowd and out of play, and a face-off will come in the Toronto zone as a result. We are just 23 seconds into the first period as we get underway nicely here with the Leafs in a rather unique spot. I mean, they have been easily the hottest team in the National Hockey League, and yet can't really make up a lot of ground on the New York or on the Boston Bruins, although they have made up some.
And the Tampa Bay Lightning are charging from behind as well.
Played off the boards to the line, but not out. Rangers are able to keep it in. Zibanejad sending it around past Liljegren to the near wall. It'll come free into the corner, and the Leafs get it back up on the wing, and out at center ice it comes Nylander, getting it to Bunting. Drop pass for Nylander as he closes in, and a relay in front of the net for Sandin, who had jumped into the rush, and he couldn't get his stick on it, or he had a nice backdoor empty net. Played down into the Ranger zone again. On the boards, Miller getting it up on the wall, but the Leafs cut it off, only to have it intercepted by Jacob Trouba. He can't get it out as Kerfoot plays it in a little bit deeper. Round back of the net now for Miller. Andre Miller looking for an outlet, still has it off the boards to his defense partner, and they'll get it out at center ice. Brought in over the line now by Philip Hedl. Drops it off on the wing for Lafreniere. A pass in front of the net didn't reach the goal. Kept in at the point then by Miller. Down into the corner for Lafreniere. He's unable to get to it as he knocks down Brody. Comes back to the point again. Long shot from the blue line is blocked, and it is punched out at center ice by the Maple Leafs. Miller regrouping the puck in his own zone. Up on the left wing, it comes down to Kakko. A long shot is deflected off the stick of Matt Murray, and up into the screen it goes.
Yeah, New York Rangers back into a playoff spot. They're tied with the New York Islanders for the 7-8 spot in the Eastern Conference. But they're only 6-6-4 on home ice. They come in with a 4-game winning streak. But somewhat strange that they're struggling in Madison Square Garden.
Long shot into the glove of Murray off the stick of Schneider from the blue line.
And we did not think, though, that Madison Square Garden is still a big deal for players to play in. I mean, you know the history of the building.
Absolutely. It's the Big Apple. It is. And since they made all of the renovations, it's a wonderful building to go to. Before, it was a dump.
And even the lighting, I think, was the big thing
it's
to
the
me.
worst. Yep.
But I mean, now is one of the best. I remember the last time we were there.
Face-off won by the Maple Leafs. Brought out at center ice. Lifted down into the Ranger zone. Punched along the boards, trying to dig it free was Holmberg. Played in front of the net by Aston Reese, but it is pushed out at center ice, and it'll force Hall back into his own zone. He's going to bank it off the end boards to his defense partner. And Giordano will play it out at center ice. trying to come up into the rush was Giordano. Now brought in over the line. And is there a penalty coming?
Yeah, going to be a slashing penalty as one of the Rangers had the stick. It was Gauthier had the stick flashed out of his hands. So just 2:23 into the opening period, the Rangers will go in the power play. Mark Giordano is the Leaf that is guilty of this.
So the first power play goes to the Rangers. The Maple Leafs in the penalty kill department are 12th in the NHL. They've allowed 19 goals in 95 times short. The Rangers are 16th in the league in power play proficiency. Leafs lost the draw, then regain the puck back at the goal, and have it knocked away as it's rung around the boards to the point. Panarin down the right wing side, goes into the corner, dishes it back to the point. Over on the near side, it'll come to Zibanejad. Back to Panarin. Point shot, pad, saving a good one. And the puck comes to center, and Marner will get it out into neutral ice. Zibanejad going back to retrieve it. Brought out by Adam Fox. To the line, Zibanejad in with a shot. That went over top of the goal. Round on the boards to the far side. The Leafs get there. Kerfoot is able to play it out and down the ice.
New York Rangers 5 for 13 in their last 5 games.
Brought to center now by the Rangers. A shot deflects wide of the goal as Fox let it go, but they can't get it out. The Leafs. It's fed around the boards to the near wing. Trapped at the blue line there and kept in by Chris Kreider. And puck goes up into the screen off a stick to stop play as the Maple Leafs will have the face-off in their zone.
All right, that game, December 26, 2003. Leafs win it 6-5 in overtime, and an overtime goal by Matt Sundin. Eddie Belfour started, left the game early in the second period when it was tied at 1. To be replaced by Trevor Kidd.
Did he have the checkerboard square pads then?
Not sure.
Remember those?
Yep.
Shot from the point, blocked in front of the Leaf goal. Chip to the line, trapped there at the blue line by Trouba. Back in along the boards into the corner for Kakko. Now back at the net, a centering pass didn't work. Trouba will get it back to the point and send it over on the near side. Hedl to the side of the net and a pass in front of the goal. Another chance on the near side. Scores! That went in and out very quickly. But the Rangers have opened the scoring on the power play. And it'll be Philip Hedl who will get the goal.
Hedl found himself alone in the left wing circle. And even though Matt Murray dives headfirst across the goal line, is unable to get it. That was after Murray came up with some pretty big stops before that. Justin Hall sprawled as well, but the shot by Hedl up just under the crossbar.
7th goal of the season for Hedl. It comes at 3:52 on the first power play opportunity of the game.
The overtime winner against New Jersey a couple of nights ago.
And it's the first time the Leafs have trailed since being in Detroit. Now the Leafs back into the attack as it goes down into the Ranger zone. Around back of the net now is Nylander getting it dropped to the point. A long shot deflects high into the corner. Bunting had no idea where it went. And now the Rangers will get control and get it off the boards and out at center ice. Liljegren to the near side for Nylander. Nylander plays it back along the boards, but it's cut off by the Rangers. Brought in by Trocheck into the corner. Good play by Brody to strip it away. And now pushed ahead by Connor Timmins. The puck goes to center ice. Nylander across the line. Timmins going hard to the front of the net. A shot is on goal, but stopped there by Shesterkin. To the side of the goal for Tavares. Tavares punches it back to the blue line. Gets it returned. Took a shot that deflects off his stick into the corner. Brody is down in along the wall. Tavares got it free, got it back to the point area, but it's cleared out at center ice now by New York. 1-0 Rangers here in the first period. Now here's Tavares. A pass in for Malgin into the corner. Dennis Malgin in along the boards, unable to get to it. And along the wall comes Hall to keep it in. Round on the far side, it'll be chipped to the blue line and punched out at center ice by New York. Tavares restoring it for Toronto. They'll go back into their own zone. Hall, rink-wide pass, out at center ice. Rangers unable to corral it cleanly. Now brought in by Adam Fox. Tried to get it in front of the net. Good play by Aston Reese to knock it away. And it's gone off a stick over the glass. Out of play with 14:08 to play here in the first period. Hedl from Kakko and Lafreniere is the scoring play.
Leafs have had 3 almost great scoring opportunities. 2 of them involved Willie Nylander as he was unable to get the puck. First one was to, I believe it was Sandin, right? Jumped in from the left point. And most recently, Connor Timmins. And then John Tavares very nearly found Mitch Marner alone in the high slot, but the puck bounced over Marner's stick.
The goal ends a streak of 6 consecutive games that the Leafs scored the opening goal of the hockey game.
Yet the record's still pretty good when giving up the opening goal.
Has been. Sandin back of the goal for Liljegren. Rink wide to find his defense partner again. Sandin rolls it down into the offensive zone. In goes David Kampf after the puck. Tied up along the wall there efficiently by Braden Schneider. Now into the fray is Liljegren to free it up for Engvall. Engvall trying to get it back to the point, but it was intercepted and now launched high over everyone's head down into the Toronto zone. Liljegren, a quick up that went off the stick of Engvall down into Ranger territory, and both teams are changing here in the first period. Led 1-0 by New York. Got back down into the Toronto zone. Along the boards, back of the net, Hedl. Trying to free it up. The Leafs do. Hedl is able to take it away again. Back towards the blue line. A pass goes off a stick. Leafs trying to get it ahead to Matthews, but can't. Now regrouped in the Toronto zone, and here is Giordano lugging it to center and shooting it in. Puck along the boards. Our apologies on identifying a lot of the Rangers. The three-dimensional numbers that they have are difficult when you're actually at the venue. It's really difficult at times while we're here calling the game off a television monitor. Played along the boards on the far side. Leafs unable to come away with it cleanly, and it's chipped to center ice by a Ranger defender. Back at the blue line, brought in by Tavares. Fled around the board, cut off there by Shesterkin. He sends it along the wall. Leafs Marner onto the puck. A blind pass, though, is picked off and brought to center by Barclay Goodrow. He'll send it into the Toronto end for Zibanejad. Zibanejad couldn't come up with it. It comes to the side of the net. Panarin trying to get it in front of the net. Comes back to the point, kept in, though, by New York. Their top line getting it back to the blue line. Fed over on the far side by Miller. Shot blocked. Leafs punch it out. A race for it here now with Malgin in over the line. Trying to get it in front of the net for Holmberg. And there's going to be a penalty here to New York. I think Trouba is going to get the penalty, and so the Leafs are going to get an opportunity to go to the power play when we return. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leaf Radio Network. Leafs to the power play, where they rank 9th in the National Hockey League, 24 of 96. Sandin still running the point in the absence of Morgan Rielly, and Morgan Rielly getting ready to return with some skating and practice sessions. Al Marner sifting through center, in on the left wing it goes. Tavares in the corner, sends it around the boards. It'll come to the near point. Trapped there by Nylander. Off to Sandin. Down low, back of the net for Marner. Now to Matthews. Centering pass comes back to Nylander. Nylander back to Matthews. Matthews to Nylander. Holds. Sends it off to Sandin. Back to Nylander. Cross-ice pass into the box. Was easily intercepted. And the Rangers have 3 coming into the Leaf zone with a shot. Pad save made there by the blocker of Murray. Sandin starts back up ice. On the right side for Nylander. Nylander into the corner. Tried to play it back and does. Sandin back for Nylander and returned. Sandin to Nylander again. Pass down low. Backhand pass in front. And Tavares just failed to tap it home. Matthews back to the blue line again. Gets it returned. Backhand in front of the goal is stopped. Back to the net. He has it once more. Fed around the boards to Nylander. Back it goes to Tavares. Down low for a one-timer, and Matthews had to go off the side of the goal. Nylander again at the point. Now on the far side, Marner to the point, and a drive is swallowed up by Igor Shesterkin and held as the Leafs had a couple of decent scoring chances down low.
Yeah, and yet that's the first shot on goal that the Leafs have had. I think a second, because Austin Matthews put it off the left post of Shesterkin just before that. Sandin finally gets the puck to the net. I'm sure we're going to see the second unit out to the Leafs now. It was the second power play unit for the Rangers that has them up 1-0.
Draw one by New York. Played to the line. Good block made there by Timmins to keep it in. Now Lindgren for the Rangers gets it up on the wing, and it is shot out into the center ice area. 10 seconds to go in the first power play for Toronto. Leafs trailing 1-0. Timmins gave the puck away there on a bad pass. Brought back in now by the Rangers, and a shot swallowed up by Matt Murray off the stick of Johnny Brodzinski, as Timmins kind of made it a little half pass, lost it off the toe of the stick. It is 1-0 New York. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan in the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Ilya Samsonov will get the start on the second game of this two-game road trip in a couple of nights' time in Washington, where he was a first-round pick, number 22 in the draft in the 2015 draft for the Caps. Samsonov leads the NHL with a .939 save percentage. Then comes Linus Ullmark and Connor Hellebuck. Matt Murray is fourth at .926 as a shot kicked away there by Shesterkin, and it'll be cleared up on the right wing boards and out at center ice. The Leafs goaltending has been very good.
And Vitek Vanacek, who left Washington in the offseason as well, has put up great numbers in New Jersey.
Played along the boards now by Harper. Had it knocked away, centering past Engvall, but it's gone past Hall and has slid all the way down. And now Murray tries to make a quick up, and he did. He got it to Kerfoot, but for some reason the Leaf forward didn't get out of the zone in time.
It might have been Engvall. And threw it back. You're right, late coming out, or Kerfoot would have had a great opportunity coming in off the right wing side.
Heads up play by Matt Murray. 7-4, the shots favoring the Rangers, who lead the game 1-0. Face off in the Toronto zone, where the pass originated. Shot by Panarin is right on. Murray down, and he was a little awkward getting the glove or pad on top of that, but managed to do it. Face off again. It is amazing, though, eh? One little play. I mean, a bad pass back to your own end, then you're late coming out of the zone. You get a face-off, and the Rangers get a great scoring chance off a face-off the Leafs caused in their own end. And the guy who caused it is on the bench and doesn't get the minus. Matthews will take the draw against Goodrow and wins it. Sandin gets the puck up on the boards, but it's intercepted by Goodrow and sent down into the Toronto end. Sandin again. Played it up ahead for Liljegren. Liljegren down the right wing side. Shoots the puck in. Delayed offside. The Leafs have to tag up. And now Trouba starting back up ice. The captain of the Rangers gets it to center. And across the line, left wing side for Goodrow. Can't get a shot away. Kept in there at the point by Miller, and his shot was blocked in the Leafs. Counter here with a 2-on-1 break. Here's Nylander closing in. Slid it to the far post. I think he was hoping for a Michael Bunting tip, but it went just wide of that far post. But it didn't look like he was trying to shoot the puck, did it?
No, and that's 3 times that Nylander has had an opportunity off the rush.
Joey Anderson gets it back, and the Leafs are going to get it down into the zone. Ashton Reese in along the wall, trying to free up a loose puck. Double teamed in there. Holmberg was able to spear it back to the point, but it comes out over the line, and almost a turnover there as Julian Gauthier was coming on late. And a good play made by Brody to recognize that, because he was in behind him. Fired right back into the Toronto zone. Brody lets it go to Anderson. Anderson trying to play it back. Anderson scored his first goal as a Leaf the other night. His 9th in his career. As the Leafs farm team, the Marlies, has certainly been instrumental in this success story that has them trying to tie a club record for games with consecutive points. Here's Marner flipping it in. It'll go wide of the net. Cleared by Shesterkin into the corner. Grabbed off there by Braden Schneider, and off the boards it'll come to the line, but Hall is able to pinch to keep it in. Now to an open wing. Schneider will try it again and get it out this time. Backhanded by New York deep into Toronto territory. 6:55 to go first period. 1-0 Rangers on a power play goal by Philip Hedl. Giordano got the puck to the blue line, played in, but it was a delayed offside. The Rangers have it again. Taking it back is Condré Miller, and Miller tries to work out of his own zone and does. Got it ahead for Hedl. Hedl in on the left wing. Kakko couldn't get it in front of the net. When they do, it's sent around back of the goal. Fed into the near corner. Dropping off to it is Kakko to send it back into the area along the boards. The Leafs get it to the line, though, and are able to punch it out at center ice. Rangers trying to shoot it back in, but the Leafs have taken it over. Liljegren getting it ahead. Long dump in there by David Kampf into the left wing corner. Bunting plays it around back of the net, then had it come back to him. Bunting getting it back to the blue line. Here's Timmins trying to get a shot, and he did. They score! Bunting, I think, coming across, got the stick on it right at the goal crease and right at the post, and Michael Bunting continues his hot play, extending his point streak to 10 games.
And this is a smart play by Connor Timmins. Gets the puck at the right point, looks up, and puts it right onto the stick of David Kampf for a redirection. Shesterkin makes the stop at his right pad, but Michael Bunting's right there to chip it in. And for Bunting, you're right, 10 games now with a point, and you talk about that secondary scoring. The Leafs have been fortunate to get that in this last stretch as well.
So Bunting gets his 7th goal of the season, and the Maple Leafs tie the game. Matthews to the line and in. Bunting is with him, but he couldn't get him the puck, and it's played out at center ice by New York. Chipped down into the Toronto zone. How about Connor Timmins turning into an assist machine?
I mean, it was such a smart play. Rangers maybe getting away with one here.
Played to the line and out. New York's Zibanejad trying to shoot it back in. Good play by Brody to prevent that. Now Matthews back in his own zone. Leans into Kravitsov, and now it is played off the boards at center, and Anderson brings it down the left wing for Toronto. Joey Anderson into the corner, stops it up, looks in front, goes back to the point with it. Kept in there with a long shot. It is into the glove of Igor Shesterkin and held for a face-off. Kampf and Timmins, I believe, are going to get the assists on the goal. Bunting 7th at 14:06 to tie it at 1. You're listening to Molson Canadian Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Not sure if Kyle Dubas thought that he was getting a point-a-game player when he decided to get Connor Timmins, but 5 games in a Leaf uniform, 5 assists, and the Maple Leafs have tied the game 1-1.
But you saw that play. I mean, that's a smart play. It's heads up, no panic. Sees David Kampf cruising through the slot and put it right on his stick for the redirection.
Hall gets it to center, and a chip in over the line goes to Holmberg. Sharp angle shot went high and wide of the net. Played down into the corner. Around the boards, it'll go to the far side. The Rangers trying to break it out. Here's another streak for you, Ralphie. Leafs have not been shut out in 101 games.
By the way, well, we can throw this in as well. Michael Bunting has the point streak, but 3 straight games with a goal now.
Marner trying to center, got it off a stick. It came in front, but Liljegren unable to get to it. Liljegren chasing after his man, but gives him up to Gauthier. Can't get around Sandin. Nice switch there by the two defensemen. Brought back by Tavares through neutral ice. Crossed the line into the slot. Tried to get a shot away, went off a stick. Kept alive, though, by Malgin. Malgin along the boards, unable to get it to Tavares initially. They pile in along the wall. Marner sifting around to send it around to the far point. Sandin traps it there. Sends it back into the corner. Back to the blue line, a shot. Big pad save made by Shesterkin. Off the stick there of Sandin. Liljegren regrouping the puck to his defense partner. And have these two worked well together. Sandin and Liljegren. Puck in the center ice area for Matthews and shot into the Ranger zone. 3:15 to go in the period. Now deadlocked at a goal. Puck along the far boards, pinned there, but now dug free. Miller sending it around to the near wing for the Rangers, and it'll escape the center ice. Nylander is back there and will drop it further to TJ Brodie. Brodie starts up on the right side. Shot in now by Nylander into the corner. Bunting. Matthews poked the puck free, but the Rangers come away with possession. Brought out now by Hedel and fed up on the wing. A return pass didn't work. Leafs try to send it ahead there, trying to find Nylander, and a high stick making contact will stop play with 2:35 left to play. You've got Morgan Rielly on the horizon. Who do you take out of the defense corps?
What a wonderful problem, isn't it? You have Brodie and Rielly back. I still think, though, when you go back to Sandin and Liljegren, that a defining moment, and they certainly showed signs before that, but that when they were down 5-on-3 in Dallas, they were absolutely spectacular. That was warrior work.
Because Marner's stick had been shattered.
Between blocking shots, getting in lanes, being physical.
Well, that confidence goes right to your hands and your legs, and they've certainly played well throughout. Hall playing it off the boards to the near side. Speaking of which, since Hall has been teamed with Giordano, he has been outstanding as well. Around on the boards near side. Fed out at center ice then by Engvall. Chipped high by the Rangers to the blue line. Zibanejad can't get in. Leafs get it out at center. And now Kerfoot trying to muscle it into the zone. Can't. Boy, there's an awful lot of players on the ice right there at the two benches.
A couple of line changes going with the puck there.
Yeah. Puck was sent down into the Toronto end. Liljegren coming out with a lead pass deflected down into Ranger territory with 1.5 minutes to play in the period. Puck back at the net, set it in front of the goal. Oh, Holmberg had a great chance on a quick feed in front of the net made by Zach Aston Reese. Rangers back the other way. Sprawling block by Sandin. Comes back to the point, though. Rangers keeping it alive. Miller on the right wing side, holding with a shot that went off a stick and fluttered towards the net, and an easy glove save made there by Matt Murray. 9 shots apiece, 1-1 the score.
Rangers at one time were out shooting the Leafs 8-3 here in the opening period once they built the 1-0 lead. But Holmberg has a great opportunity. Leafs get it on the forecheck. Puck gets worked out from behind the net to Holmberg in front.
Having a chuckle with Zach Aston Reese there about what a great play he made.
It was Shesterkin's best save of the night. Last year's Vezina Trophy winner. He had some Jack Campbell moments earlier in the season where he was very critical of his own play.
Marner brings the puck to center for Toronto. In on the right side for Malgin. Back into the corner and back of the net for Marner. He puts the brakes on. Got away from one. Now Marner still with the puck. Marner trying to pull it back, but had it stripped away. And Hedel brings it to center. Cross the line to the side of the net. Tipped there in front by Hedel. Now dug out by the Rangers' Kakko around back of the net. Grabbed off by Tavares, who feeds it ahead. Malgin trying to get away from some stick checking. Got it in over the line. Kruba couldn't stop him up. It goes around back of the net. Marner got it up on the wing, but it'll be played by Kakko to center ice. Leafs Giordano sending it in wide of the net. 20 seconds to play in the period. Here's Matthews. Trying to find a man, but it was cut off there nicely by Jimmy Vesey. Played ahead at center by the Rangers. 8 seconds in the period. Knocked around back of the net off of Liljegren's stick, who got a glimpse at the clock. Comes to the line. A shot blocked. Big rebound. But time runs out. And, Michael Bunting is having a discussion with someone. This is a recording.
And Michael Bunting was trying to be clever and draw a penalty. He has drawn the most penalties in the league this season. Made contact with the Ranger trying to get back into his own end. I thought the Rangers were the better team in the first 8 or 9 minutes. After that, though, I thought the Leafs came on and looked a little more like the team we've seen over the last 15 games.
Michael Bunting gets his 7th of the season, and so does Hedl for New York. A 1-1 tie after 20 minutes of play. Gord Stellick and Brent Gunning coming along with our first period intermission. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph back here at the studios of Sportsnet, as the Maple Leafs are in New York to tangle with the Rangers at Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. Did I have my Bronx accent enough there? Was that? Nah, not good. I can't do a Bronx accent very much.
Yeah, there's sort of different variations of New York. Long Island,
borough to borough. Yes, absolutely. But at any rate, it's 1-1. As Philip Hedl scored the opening goal on the power play for the New York Rangers, and Michael Bunting from Timmins and Camp tying the game for the Maple Leafs, as Connor Timmins in 5 games now has 5 points for the Maple Leafs.
And you always wonder, he gets this opportunity, and it's sort of a fluke. But he's in Arizona, and he gets an opportunity because of the injuries with Toronto. But you wonder what his career might have been like had he not been injured, the better part of the last 4 or 5 years.
Right off the bat, and offside at the Ranger blue line. 19:50 to go in the period. Shots on goal were even at 9 apiece in the first 20 minutes.
Chris Kreider was a 52-goal man for the Rangers last year. His previous high was 28 that he had hit twice in his career. Right now, he's on pace for about a 38-goal season, so he and Matthews both not quite where they were last season.
Marner digs the puck out into the center ice area. Can't come up with it, though. Brought right back in again by Jimmy Vesey, but all turned over now, and the Leafs have it with Giordano in his own zone. Moving right to left on your radio dial. Here's Denny Malgin into the corner. Malgin sends it into the near corner, but then couldn't come up with it. Bounced high to center ice by New York, brought in on a delayed offside, and it'll be touched and whistled by the officials, who are Libor Suchanek and Derek Nansen. They are the linesmen Chris Lee and Bro Halkitis, who we think
is Bobby's son.
Yeah. Well, Bo is working the game here tonight. Alex Ovechkin trying to tie Gordie Howe's goal-scoring mark. Now, in all fairness, they did play a little bit in the WHA. Don't you think that those numbers should be attached to this as well?
I mean, many people thought that when Gretzky passed Gordie Howe for NHL goals.
Long shoot in goes on Murray, cleared into the corner. Rangers send it around back of the net, but the Leafs come away with it, and Nylander is able to punch it out at center. One-handed by Bunting deeper into the corner. Matthews gets there to get good position, got it back to the blue line, but it was just out of the reach. And it comes all the way down into the Toronto end, and Murray will play it off to his defenseman, and it is Liljegren getting it to center. Brought on at center now by Sandin, and rifled in and around the boards. It goes to the far wing. Down into the corner goes Miller after it for the Rangers. He's able to punch it free and get it out into neutral ice. Panarin trying to get across the line. Loses the puck, and now Nylander for the Maple Leafs on the left wing. Got it around Trouba and sends it into the corner. Miller unable to free it up initially, but gets it back to his defense partner. And now Trouba in his own zone looking to work his way out. A pass through the middle, off a stick into Toronto territory. Murray scoops the puck around back of his goal, and Brody sends it off the boards high into neutral ice. Both teams kind of Playing a little kitty bar the door here without much opportunities at either end. A lot of play in the neutral zone. Timmins up on the right side for Kerfoot. He'll get a shot in, but it's an easy save made by Igor Shesterkin, and a face-off will come in the Ranger zone as a result.
Well, Shesterkin this season, 2.52, .916 save percentage, and a record of 14-4-4. Pretty good by most standards, isn't it?
I would think.
But last year, as a Vezina Trophy winner, 2.07 goals against average, .935 save percentage.
That's not bad.
That's best
yep.
in the National Hockey League.
Played out at center ice by the Rangers. Giordano sends it off the near boards to find Holmberg. Holmberg up on the left wing for Joey Anderson. Anderson on his backhand is upended there by Schneider. No call. The puck into the corner. Anderson digging it free, and it comes around to the near side. Giordano will pinch in to keep the puck in. Along the boards it goes back of the Ranger goal, and tied up there by Zach Aston Reese. When it does come free, it goes to Holmberg. Holmberg for the Leafs, working back towards the blue line. Cycles it back behind the net, centered by Anderson, but it didn't reach Zach Aston Reese, who was on the other side of the net. Rangers get it out into the center ice area. Overskating the puck there with Schneider, and he does well to just one-handed down into the Toronto zone. Giordano to Hall. Through center to the line. Rings the boards with it to the near side. Cut off by Kravtsov. Played into the corner. That hit the official. Off onto the left wing side it goes now, and it'll be played back into the Ranger zone. Kravtsov trying to drop it back, and Adam Fox will play it up on the wing, and down into the Toronto zone it goes. Played away by Murray. Chipped ahead by Timmins. Giveaway in the Leaf zone, though. Here's a chance for Brodzinski. A shot. Good save made there by Murray on a giveaway in the Leaf zone.
That was John Tavares that tried to throw it up the middle of the ice, and it was picked off.
Sandin will send it down deep into the Ranger end. Sandin in against the boards on the far wall. Had it knocked away. Vesey trying to move it up ice, and it's back into the zone for Fox to regroup. 15:54 to go, second period. Leafs 1, Rangers 1. Leafs in Washington on Saturday night. Brought in over the line. Good back checking by Bunting, but then a turnover. Bunting is able to come away with it, though, and he skates it out at center ice. Going to shoot it into the Ranger zone. Shesterkin out of the goal to stop it back of the net. Rangers are going to bring it right back out. Long alley-oop pass, too far for everyone. And Brody is in position to make sure there's an icing call, and it'll come back into the New York zone. The second period is brought to you by Express Pro. Don't stress about finding a new job. Let Express Employment Professionals help you out. Visit expresspros.com for good local jobs in a variety of industries.
Well, it looked like after that giveaway, that shot might have actually caught part of the post. He glanced off Matt Murray. Shots are 10 apiece. Score remains tied at 1-1.
Camp waved out of the face-off circle, and Kerfoot will move in. Patiently waiting for the linesman to drop the puck, and he finally does. Rangers control the face-off and play it out at center ice. Stopped up there at the blue line nicely by Brody, but it is pushed down into the Toronto end. Chipped along the wall for David Camp. One-handed ahead, but it doesn't reach the line and get out. Kept alive by New York. Down the left wing boards is Miller. Stops back at his point position, sends it in along the wall, looking for a man in front of the net. Fox had drifted down into the slot area, so Jimmy Vesey that comes around on the near side now, and the Rangers get it back of the Toronto net. Vesey trying to dig it free, but the Leafs chip it along the wall for Engvall. He'll get it out nicely, and then mishandling the puck was Kerfoot, but they get it across the line, and a shot went off a leg and went wide in front of the Ranger goal. New York gets it out at center. Vesey sending it to the Toronto blue line. Timmins to his defense partner, brought out now by Giordano. To the line and in, got a shot, but it was off his stick and up into the screen. And out of play here at Madison Square Garden. 14:28 to go in the second. Still a 1-1 tie.
This is for a free agent signing. But the New York Rangers had come out earlier and said they were in rebuild mode. Well, that changed when they signed Artemi Panarin. summer of 2019. Since then, he is the fourth most points in the National Hockey League since signing with the New York Rangers, behind only McDavid, Draisaitl, and Austin Matthews.
Not bad.
And his second in assists.
Offside called as Giordano had a quick decision to have to make right at the blue line, and I think he made the right decision to put the play offside.
All right, so for Panarin, 207 assists in 216 games as a New York Ranger. Leads them in scoring, only has 6 goals, but 29 assists to go with that.
Columbus Blue Jackets have lost a lot of talent, haven't they?
Well, remember he left the same summer John Davidson did, although John Davidson is back as president of the Blue Jackets.
Fed down into the Ranger zone. Along the boards it goes for Zach Aston Reese. He works the wall there against Schneider, puts the reverse on, then couldn't one-hand it back into the slot for Holmberg, and the Rangers get it out, but Holmberg is quick to intercept, gets it back to Aston Reese, whose wrist shot went off a skate harmlessly wide of the goal. Along the boards now is Holmberg working out of the corner, and he centered it in front to the point to Hall, a drive, and that deflected wide of the net. Leafs are unable to keep it in. Rangers back in across the line. Great play by Hall to take his man wide and into the corner, allowing Giordano to get back in front of the net. Leafs are able to break it out now to center. Marner dropping it back, but the Rangers intercept and send a long shoot in wide of the Leaf goal. To the side of the net it came. Now Panarin back to the point to Fox. Fox in traffic sent it high and wide of the Leaf net. Malgin trying to chip it up the wall, couldn't get it out. Now gets a second opportunity, and he'll push the puck to center. And now in a collision right at the blue line with Zibanejad, and the Rangers have it back in their own zone. We played 7 minutes into the second period. Game still tied 1-1. Right out at center, and then circle back into the Ranger zone. They'll get it ahead. Zibanejad dropping it off. Got it back again on the right wing. Zibanejad centers. Oh, and a big save there on Panarin. Another shot went off of Giordano and then the side of the net. Giordano on to Sandin. He gets into the Ranger zone. Drop past Matthews. Tried a little toe drag move. Couldn't get around the player. And the Rangers get it out into neutral ice. Fox carries it on the left wing. Puts the brakes on. Rings the boards with it to the near corner. Sent back to the point on the near side. A D-to-D pass in front. A long shot blocked there by Murray, and the Leafs chip it and get it out into the center ice area. Right back comes Vincent Trocheck. He'll play it off the glass into the Leaf zone. Brody steered it into the corner. It goes around back of the net. Now came in front. Back to the point. A shot deflects in front of the goal, but is taken to safety by Camp, who now reverses it and plays it up on the wall. And Timmins trying to get it out, had it hit a skate, but Camp is there backing up the play. Kerfoot now on a pass gets it down into the Ranger end, but can't center it. Harper back of the goal to the far side. Poked along the wall by the Maple Leafs, sent around back of the net again. Good play to free it up now for Engvall. Engvall passes it back to the point. Brody sends it back into the corner for David Camp. Camp can't secure it. Kerfoot is able to come away with a loose puck. Kerfoot to the point. Brody with a long shot that was off the mark wide. Kerfoot getting it back into the corner. Comes to the left point. Brody will go D to D. Cruising in with it is Timmins with a shot. And that went off a leg and went wide. Kerfoot with the puck again. Leafs with good pressure here on the forecheck. Back to Timmins. Timmins walks the line. Gives it back to Engvall. Engvall in traffic with a shot blocked. Kerfoot was able to get it freed again. Now Camp gets it into the corner. Engvall back to the point. Sandin. Far side Liljegren as the Leafs have changed their defense. And they're changing the forwards as they go. Here's Tavares working out of the near corner. Slid it back in along the wall for Marner. Marner centers! What a chance Matthews had. Now here's Liljegren with it. Liljegren back to the blue line. Good pressure from a tired Ranger team here. Another shot hits the side of the goal. Matthews spinning it back to the blue line. Sandin left wing side to Liljegren. Liljegren shot. That deflected high and wide. Matthews after a loose puck to Marner. Marner to Tavares. Tavares turns in on goal. Deflected just wide of the net by Sandin. Tavares again. Sandin in front to Matthews. That ricocheted wide. What pressure here from the Leafs. Marner to Matthews. Back to Marner. Top of the circles. Wrist shot coming blocked. Rebound. Backhanded to the line and out.
Boy, what a brilliant play by Sheldon Keefe as well. You got the Rangers hemmed into their own end, and you throw out Matthews, Marner, and John Tavares, and they almost cash in.
Played around the boards on the left wing side. Giordano trying to keep it alive. Matthews against the boards. Back of the net, Bunting. Left for Nylander. Nylander curls out, rolls it in front. Oh, and it was chipped just wide of the net by Bunting in front of the goal. Leafs keep it in. Here's Matthews again. Can't make a move on the defenseman as Schneider can't get it out. Now the Rangers do. They'll get it to the Toronto line and in. Was that 3 minutes down there, Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean, they don't get a lot as far as shots on goal. But they got quite a bit to the net. I don't know if we got a penalty coming up. The referee skated past. Looked like he was making a motion.
Well, we'll
have
to sort it out when we get the television cameras back on. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Joe Bowen along with Jim Ralph here in Toronto as the Maple Leafs are in New York to tangle with the Rangers and a 1-1 tie. With 9 minutes left to play here in period number 2 after a long siege by the Maple Leafs did not bear fruit. Leafs get it to the line and off a skate down into New York territory. Racing after it is Kerfoot. Got position and got the puck on his stick along the boards for Engvall, but his feed to the blue line was cut off before it reached Justin Hall. Rangers back in on the line. Hall takes his man efficiently into the corner. Puck comes around the boards and it'll be kept in momentarily before Engvall is able to skate it out. Engvall to center and across the line. Scoops it back to the net for David Kampf, but it got away from him. Kerfoot follows up to play it around the boards to the far wing, and the Rangers now trying to come up with it and finally do, and will play it out into the center ice area. Brody brings it back for Toronto and shoots it right back in. Along the boards far side, played back to the point, cut off by New York. Slipped down the ice, won't be icing. Brody is there to turn quickly to send it right back up on the wing. Left wing side now, centering pass for Aston Reese. And that was nicely fed by Pontus Holmberg. Aston Reese got it away in a hurry, but he drilled it right into the crest of Igor Shesterkin. A 1-1 tie. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Heedle for the Rangers, Bunting for the Maple Leafs. One streak has continued. 10 games now for Michael Bunting. Still looking for Mitch Marner, who is sitting on 23 games with a point in each. And Austin Matthews has an 8-game streak going, and the Leafs have got a point streak going that they're trying to tie the club record. So lots on the line here as the puck is down in the Rangers zone. Zach Aston Reese trying to dig it free, and the Rangers are able to punch it out into neutral ice. Got it across the line. Loose puck, a shot. That was blocked, and the rebound was fired at the net. Pontus Holmberg got in the way of that. Comes back to the point again. Trouba to his defense partner. Now drop pass into the slot. Brodzinski trying to find a man. It goes now to Trouba. Trouba back to the far side. Back to Trouba once more. Sends it along the wall on the near wing. Kravtsov dropping it back. All of this well outside the box. Now back in for Zibanejad, who goes around back of the net. Rangers trying to do what the Leafs did to them earlier in the period. Zibanejad fakes the shot. Drops it back for Trouba. A shot. Blockered away there by Murray. Leafs don't get their stick on it, though. Tired group out there for the Maple Leafs. Trouba dropping it back. Miller back to Trouba. Shot goes off a stick and high, but not out of the rink. Kept in at the blue line. Miller to Trouba once more. Back to Miller. Miller onto the right wing side. Lots of traffic in front of the goal. And the shot rolled into the crease area. And Matt Murray very quickly, realizing a change of players is in order, made a cover-up and holds for a face-off.
Well, Zach Aston Reese lost his stick, so the Leafs were essentially down 5-on-4. That was the importance of Matt Murray coming up with it and holding on. As this game stays tied at 1 here in the second period at Madison Square Garden in New York. Both goaltenders have been solid, but neither one really, Joe, has been forced to be spectacular.
Leafs play the puck high to center ice. Racing after it is Tavares. Tavares along the boards, swings it down into the corner. Nylander able to free it up to Marner, and as he tried to find Tavares in front, went off a Ranger stick. And New York with it in the corner now, trying to play it up the boards, and they do to get it out. Hall will go back into the Toronto end. To Giordano. Off the boards, doesn't get into the zone. Fox brings it back. Whoa, real close play at the blue line here. Turned over by the Leafs and pushed ahead. Tavares is not going to get there as Fox outran him. But the puck comes into the slot for Nylander. In front for Marner. Can't get a shot away. Hauled down into the corner. In fact, it broke the stick. Now Marner in front of the goal. Almost got it again. Poke check there by goaltender Shesterkin.
That is the most bizarre thing I think I've ever seen. A Ranger defenseman loses his stick. He's got two teammates and tries to step on it and push it up ice in front of his own net. The Leafs were able to knock it loose, but Mitch Marner couldn't get a handle on it. I'm going to see this again as which Ranger player decided it was a good idea to try it on his own. Dennis Malgin made a pretty good play to poke it back over to Mitch Marner, but Marner couldn't quite get a handle on it. He's asking the ref for a penalty and doesn't get it. Rangers with a slight edge in shots now, 14-12. The Rangers, but here in the second period, it's just 5-3 favoring New York.
5:22 left in the second period, still tied 1-1. Played around back of the Ranger goal. New York trying to play it out, and they do. Racing after it was Vesey, but he couldn't come up with it. And it's back along the blue line, played down into the corner. Vincent Trocheck into the forecheck for the Rangers. Played up on the left wing side, flipped ahead by Bunting to the blue line and in, but it is quickly cleared back out. Now Liljegren shoots it right back into the New York end. Matthews out there to get it back into the point. Brody holds, sends it into a far corner, didn't send it at the net at all. Oh, unable to trap it on the boards was Bunting. Now he does. Matthews tried to center, went off a stick, and the Rangers break 2-on-1. Up on the right wing side and in over the line. Vesey going to the net, scores! What a nice shot from Jimmy Vesey to get it over the shoulder of Murray and into the top corner, and the Rangers have taken a 2-1 lead.
And for Jimmy Vesey, just his fourth of the season, Austin Matthews tried a backhand pass into the slot to John Tavares. It was picked off by Keandre Miller, just one-handed it. Got it off his stick and back from the Rangers the other way. TJ Brody was the only defenseman back. As Vesey went around Brody, cut to the net, and chipped it up short side under the crossbar and over the left shoulder of Matt Murray to give the Rangers their second one-goal lead of the game.
Vesey, of course, played for the Maple Leafs in the 2021 season, played 30 games in a Leaf uniform. And breaks the tie here as it goes down into the New York zone. Punched up on the wall to center. Nylander trying to strip it away. Got Marner the loose puck. Brought out now by Brody. Brody ahead. Tavares, but his feed for Nylander on the right wing was intercepted. Rangers shoot it right back into the Toronto end. It is the fourth goal of the season for Jimmy Vesey. Puck in the Toronto end. Marner tips it ahead to Tavares. Tavares trying an alley-oop into the corner for David Camp. Camp into the far corner for Toronto. Tied up along the boards there by Lindgren. Now that's drawn a big scrum in the corner, and it's finally dug out by New York. 3:33 to play in the second period. The Rangers will tip it down into Toronto territory and go for a change. Justin Hall around back of the net for Giordano. Got it ahead for Engvall. Engvall with a rising shot that went wide of the net. Camp plays it back to Engvall, back of the goal. Engvall curling out of the corner. Tried to send it in front of the net. Intercepted by New York. And a 3-on-2 rush going the other way. Man going hard to the net was Gauthier, but it's whistled down offside. So the Rangers have taken a 1-goal lead here in the second period. It's 2-1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Joe Bowen along with Jim Ralph. Armin Zagarian is our producer. Tom Young is pushing all of the buttons here. Gord Stellick and Brent Gunning coming along with our second period intermission shortly, as Jimmy Vesey has given the Rangers a 2-1 lead at Madison Square Garden.
Pretty famous conversation he had on ice with Sheldon Keefe. Remember the Amazon special, the Amazon Prime special that was done on the Leafs season? And I believe the term that Sheldon Keefe used in talking to Vesey, that he was vanilla. Well, that was anything but vanilla there, as Vesey took it to the net and tucked it up over the left shoulder of Matt Murray, who I think might have been cheating just a little bit, Joe, on maybe a cross-crease pass.
Trocheck and Miller draw the assists on Vesey's goal, his fourth. Hall chipping it along the boards. Got it to the line, but Zibanejad was able to play it back in, and now a slashing penalty because Mark Giordano's stick exploded.
Well, they say what goes around comes around, right? Giordano got one for breaking his stick with a slash in the opening period. Now the Leafs, with 2:56 to go here in the second period, have an opportunity to tie this game up.
Goodrow, I believe, is going to the box for the slash. Second power play opportunity for the Maple Leafs in this game.
This is one of those, again, that you don't know if the stick doesn't break. You don't know if it's going to be called or not.
17:04, the time of the penalty, and the Leafs on the power play. Sandin, bad pass, intercepted easily by New York, and brought to center ice by Zibanejad with an angle to the net, but it was deflected wide. Leafs come away with it now, and Matthews starting out of his own zone. Works through center, drops the puck back for Nylander. Nylander will gain the zone, and offside called by the linesman. And Willie looks around to find out who was it.
Well, still 1:40 to go, but Leafs start by winning the draw, but Sandin's pass to the slot is picked off.
And Tavares asking the linesman, I think.
Are you sure?
Who was it?
Yeah. And, oh, yeah, it was the right call.
Yep, post plate.
It might have been Tavares on the left wing side.
Shot in over the line. Leafs after it as it goes around back of the net. Rangers get it up on the left wing and quickly sent by Vincent Trocheck down the ice. Minute 25 in the power play. 2:19 left in the period. Marner. Whoa! Fell and slipped and fell down. Bringing it in over the line now. Here's Vesey trying to get a shot away but can't. And they'll send it all the way back into neutral ice and rag the puck a little bit here.
Vesey already has a shorthanded goal this season for the Rangers.
Shot down the ice now by New York. Murray getting it trapped back of the net. And that ate up about 20 seconds in time on the clock. Here's Sandin coming through center. Looks to drop it back and does. Matthews carries to the line and in. Matthews in on the right side for Nylander. Nylander circled into the corner. Tried to send it back to Matthews. Didn't reach. And it is easily shot down the ice by New York. Timmins will go back for the puck. Connor Timmins dropping it back. Brought on now by Malgin. To Engvall, second unit for Toronto. Another bad pass at the blue line, and the Rangers get an easy clear of this one. Timmins trying to free it up. Malgin will start back. Malgin to center. In across the line. Sends it into the corner. Rattled around the boards to find Engvall. Engvall down into the corner behind the net. Holmberg to Malgin back to the point to Timmins. Timmins to Malgin, closing with a shot into the glove of Shesterkin, and held. Face-off coming in the New York zone.
I don't know if this would have sailed over the net or not. If it is a shot on goal, it's just the fourth shot for the Leafs here in the second period. And it was Malgin that walked in top of the right wing circle. As we mentioned, the power play goal the Rangers had in the first period was scored by the second power play unit.
Draw one by New York. Trouba played it up on the boards, got it back again, and now his defense partner Condre Miller turning with it, and Trouba gets the pass and gets it out. Penalty has expired. Rangers in over the line. Along the boards into the corner, Barclay Goodrow has it knocked away. Hall starts with a half minute to go in the period. Up ahead now for Camp. Camp in over the line. Camp sends it in front of the net, and roaring to the net, I believe it was Malgin. No, it was Zach Aston Reese who was roaring to the net, got a stick on it, but deflected it up into the screen, out of play.
Since the Rangers have gone up 2-1, the Leafs have been guilty of some horrid turnovers in the New York end. That'd be maybe a little too fancy to try to get the equalizer, but even the goal that the Rangers scored, it was off a turnover when Austin Matthews had his pass redirected. And back came Jimmy Vesey to put the Rangers on top.
22 seconds left in the period. Nylander getting the puck back to the point. D-to-D pass. Timmins with a shot that was blocked. Backhanded high to the line. Kept alive there by Timmins. And then I think it went off his glove and into the Toronto bench.
One thing the Leafs have not been able to do this season is actually win a game when they've been trailing after 2 periods of play.
Well, they got 10.7 seconds to rectify that stat. Leafs back into the slot. A shot taken by Marner, directed wide of the net. Goes into the corner with the final seconds ticking down. They're not going to get another shot at the goal as time runs out. So the goal by Vesey at 15:33 from Trocheck and Miller have the Rangers, after 40 minutes, ahead of the Maple Leafs 2-1.
And one of the reasons maybe the Leafs haven't been able to come back and win a game after trailing after 2 periods of play, this is only the 5th time this season that they've trailed after 40 minutes. They're 0-2-2 when trailing after 2.
Just 6-4 the shots on goal in the second period, and the Rangers have a 15-13 edge after 40 minutes of play in this one. 2-1 Ranger lead. Gord Stellick and Brent Gunning standing by. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Leafs trail the New York Rangers 2-1, trying to equal a franchise record with 16 straight games with at least a point without a loss. Mitch Marner has a point streak on the line that has reached 23 games. Austin Matthews has a point streak that has reached 8 games that have been put on the line here for this third period. You brought up an interesting question. This is the oldest arena in the National Hockey League, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, some renovations, but yes, the oldest.
Major renovation. But I'm trying,
okay,
second oldest. Did you look it up?
Oh, yeah, I looked it up.
Yeah,
now, I mean, you were close. You said San Jose.
Yeah, I was thinking out there, yeah.
They actually opened their new arena the same year the Anaheim Ducks came in 93. Okay. So they're tied at second. Easier than you think. Canadian team.
Montreal? Calgary. Oh, yes. Calgary playing.
Yeah, the Saddle Dome.
Because they played in the Saddle Dome, and then 81 or 82?
I believe 83.
83. That's right. Okay. I did 1 year of games in the Saddle Dome. Yeah, you're right. Off the bat, down into the Ranger zone it goes. Leafs to the right, or to the left rather, and the Rangers to the right. Cleared by New York into center ice area, and Malgin will go back into his own zone. He gives it to Hall, who finds his defense partner. Giordano goes up the wing, chipped into the New York end. Hustling back after it is Lindgren. Played off the boards, and it'll be brought out at center ice now by New York. Rangers in across the line, and unable to penetrate there was Vincent Trocheck. Puck back into neutral ice, pinned up against the boards in front of the penalty box area. Played off on the wing, and Barclay Goodrow will send it down into the New York zone. Back of the net, Brody. Back for Hall. Hall up on the left wing to the centerman now, and brought out at center ice by Malgin. Malgin will ring the boards with it, trying to find Nylander. He let it go to Matthews. Matthews against the wall. Plays it around into the near corner. Brody pinches, but it's played past him, and it's out at center ice. Chopped at there by Timmins, but it'll go down into the New York end. He engages Zibanejad. Nylander couldn't come up with it. Brody does, and Brody gets it up on the left wing, and now a right wing pass for Matthews. Closing with a shot. Blocker save made there by Shesterkin. Leafs are able to keep the puck in. Played around back of the net by Michael Bunting. Bunting trying to find his man in front of the net. Can't get it to Matthews. Rangers get it out into neutral ice. Both teams changing. Sandin with the puck in his own zone. Looks to the right wing side to find Hall. He got it ahead to Engvall. Engvall is down into the corner. Taken to the boards as it comes along the wall. Kerfoot punches it back behind the net for David Camp. Camp tries to center. That was knocked away. Camp trying to get it back to the point and has. Now Engvall trying to center without a stick. Blocking that was a sprawling Braden Schneider. Leafs trying to take advantage of that. Schneider's been given a stick, but Philip Hedl, without the stick, decides maybe if I just grab him, they won't notice that I don't have a stick.
And he went right to the official to complain, and I'm not sure what the complaint was other than it's not fair. All the other fellows have sticks. Now Kerfoot may have sold it just a bit, but the Leafs will go on their third power play, and this power play they had in the second period was not impressive to say the least. But a great opportunity here to get this game tied up again.
2:21 the time of the penalty.
By the way, when the Rangers have taken a lead into the third, they're 5-2 this season.
They lead 2-1 and win the faceoff and quickly shoot it down into the Toronto zone. Puck around back of the net, it's centered. Oh, and what a chance Zibanejad had there for a shorty.
Boy, again, the Leafs.
Very lucky.
Mental
Yes.
errors.
Marner brings it out. Right wing side and in over the line. Dropped there for Nylander. Rung the boards to the far side. Tavares trying to play it back. Has it in his skates. Centering pass didn't work. It comes free. Rangers whistle it down the ice.
Rangers have won a lot of those one-on-one battles as well.
Sandin with 1:18. Drops the puck for Marner. Marner through center. Off on the wing for Matthews. Got it through. Can't get a shot away, though. Rangers against the boards. Have shot it down the ice again. Murray had to be rather adroit at his stick handling not to handle it in the non-trapezoidal area, Mr. Ralph. Brought on by Marner. Cross the line. Left wing side. Tavares banks it back to the blue line. First control the Leafs have had in the offensive zone. And a shot from the point. Kicked away by Shesterkin. Cleared off the boards and out and down the ice by Vesey.
And we'll probably get the number one unit off the ice.
Nylander heading that way. Timmins drops the puck back. Brought on by Malgin. Malgin on the wing for Engvall, who dumps it in and races to the loose puck. Then trying to work it along the boards. Had to go off his stick. And Zibanejad with a bank pass and a beauty. Oh, just off of the stick. That was Vesey, I believe, cutting in off the right wing. 5 seconds left in what has been an atrocious power play. Engvall in over the line. Rings it around the boards. It'll come to an open wing, and the Rangers are going to get it out. One shot during the power play. And if they had possession of the puck in the offensive end for more than 10 seconds, I'd have been surprised. Back in to come the Leafs on the rush. Centering pass. Big save, Shesterkin. Zach Aston Reese cutting in off the left wing.
Well, unfortunately for the Leafs, and with all due respect to Aston Reese, he's had the best opportunities down the last two periods.
Brody going back in his own zone. Drops it off for Alex Kerfoot. He got it ahead. Holmberg will play it back. Leafs have to be cautious here. They had a lot of people coming on and off the ice. Kerfoot trying to get it up on the wing, and the Rangers take it away. Miller back at center for New York. Laid down into the corner. Brodzinski went in after it. Matthews got it free. Tavares starting back up ice with Marner. Big boys right back on the ice. Played into the corner and back of the net. Standing on it there was Shesterkin. Marner comes away with it. Trying to play it back to Tavares and does. Back of the net. Tavares centers. Off the paddle of Shesterkin. And the Rangers, with a chance to move it up ice, will launch it high down into Toronto zone. Sandin going back to the loose puck. 2-1 New York. Sandin, left wing feed. Rolled in over the line. Engvall in pursuit there. Has it in his skates. Got it freed up for Camp. Back to the point. Giordano getting it off the boards. Now here's Engvall curling in the far corner. Looks for a man in front. Still has it. Working the boards as he gets it back to the blue line. Giordano to the line. Timmins just did keep it in. Sends it into the corner. Around to the left wing side. Giordano pinches and able to play it back to Engvall. Engvall got it back. Comes in front of the net. Camp trying to get a backhand, but it doesn't reach the net as it was blocked. Panarin getting it up on the wing, and the Rangers break it out. Here's Panarin on the left wing. Panarin in with a shot. Waved at by Murray, and I think it hit him in the shoulder after it missed his glove. Panarin getting it back into the slot. A long shot high and wide of the Leaf net. Chipped up on the boards, but not out. Harper keeping it alive for New York, but it comes out at center, and Nylander rolls it down into New York territory. 12:48 to play here in the third period. 2-1 New York. Off the boards. Nylander unable to pry it free. Brody ran into traffic. Rangers have it in the corner. Twisting with it is Chris Kreider. Got it off on the wing. Spun back by Vesey to the point. Shot in traffic. Pad save and a good one made by Murray. Leafs get it out at center. Nylander can't control it. The Rangers will play it right back into Toronto territory.
Again, how many times has Nylander had an almost great chance off the rush? Just to have it broken up or roll off his stick.
Sandin launching it high into the left wing corner in New York territory. Trouba runs into traffic. Bunting steals. Played it back of the net for Matthews to Marner. Marner tied up on the boards. Bunting trying to add support there. Hedl is in there as well as Marner comes out of the corner with the puck. Marner still with it. Off the wing. Still with it. Into the slot. Got the shot away. Puck in front of the net. Carried to safety by Hedl. Played out at center ice. And the Leafs have to go back after it.
Not surprised that Marner and Matthews have been put back together here in the third period.
Marner's pass intercepted. Hedl turns with it again. Carries to the line and plays it down into the Toronto end. Murray out of the cage. Plays off to his defenseman and out at center. A pass too far for David Camp. Rangers back in with Kravtsov sending it in wide of the Leaf goal. Timmins, a nice pass to get it ahead. Camp plays into the corner for Kerfoot. Kerfoot against the boards. David Camp in there adding support. Three Rangers trying to pry it free. Still in against the wall. And chipped in around back of the net. Engvall will play it back to the blue line. Hall looks to send it to the net. No traffic in front. And an easy glove save for Igor Shesterkin to stop play here in the third period. The Rangers with a 2-1 lead. And you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Rangers currently hold down the last wild card spot, a point up on Washington, 3 points up on both Detroit and Florida.
A scary stat right now in this game. What the giveaways are.
I can imagine that they are one-sided.
Unbelievably so.
Around back of the net. Are you going to let us know what they are?
Well, I want to cover hopefully something good coming in here.
Okay.
All right, 24-8. The giveaways. The Leafs have 24 giveaways on this night.
Now Timmins in his own zone. Long lead pass off his stick into the corner. Marner went in after it. Couldn't come up with it. Timmins was able to punch it back in. Marner stole but couldn't get it in front of the net to Matthews. Bunting along the boards. Matthews gets the pass from Marner. Steps in! Shesterkin down and was able to get a pad on it. That had tying goal written all over it. Marner back across the line for Bunting. And he's taken off the puck.
Well, a great stick handling by Austin Matthews, but may have gone a little too far around the right pad of Shesterkin and was on a bad angle.
Brought out at center ice. Lindgren for the Rangers sends it into the near corner. Sandin was first to the puck. Got it up on the wing for Tavares. A lead pass for Engvall. Out now with Tavares, and a shot whistled by Engvall wide of the net has gotten by Hall and comes all the way back into the Leaf end. So the Leaf coach is juggling the lines a little bit. Engvall up on a line now with Tavares and Nylander. Nylander through center. Launches it in high into the far corner and goes in after it. Too well covered by two of the Rangers, and then Tavares couldn't get to it, and it ends up being flipped into the Toronto bench and out of play.
Interesting though, Pierre Engvall out with John Tavares and William Nylander. It looks like Panarin may have just got a stick into the hands of Austin Matthews as he tried to go around Shesterkin to put it in. Best chance the Leafs have had here in the third period.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Turns out Matthews never did get a shot, and he's upset at the official for...
You know what? Panarin stick right into the hands of Matthews, and I know the Rangers have taken 3 penalties. The Leafs have only taken 1. But that was taking away a grade A scoring chance.
Face off in the Rangers zone. 9:05 remaining in the third period. The Rangers 2 and the Maple Leafs 1.
Bunting, Marner, Matthews back together again here in the third period.
Draw one by the Rangers. Played to the line and out at center ice. Turned over again. The Leafs bring it right back in, but only to have it pushed out at center by New York, and they'll have to go back into their own end to restore it. A pass ahead by Marner is tipped. Then he ran into Timmins. Has to go back after it again. Got it up on the wing, and Timmins gets it out at center. Rangers with it in their neutral zone. For Panarin. Played back into the Toronto end. Giordano going back to the puck. Finds Matthews back of his goal. And now here comes Matthews out of his own end. He comes to center and weaves to the left wing. In on the right side, trying to get a shot away. It was a weak one and a pad save made by Shesterkin. Panarin comes back into the Toronto zone. Played it into the left wing corner. Puck comes back to the point. Matthews almost stripped it and then almost got it and then does get it. He's in across the line. A pass for Engvall was in behind him. Engvall has stolen it back. Engvall down into the corner. Puts the brakes on. Drops it back to the blue line. Walking the line there's Brody, and a whistling shot into the corner. Almost hit the official. Leafs come away with it with Tavares. Back to the point to Brody. On the wing. It comes in front. Tavares. The shot right on. Oh, and Shesterkin may have just made his best save of the game.
He's had a couple of off Zach Aston Reese in this game, but there's another one right between the hash marks that the Leafs get to the net. And it looks like Pierre Engvall's going to finish this game playing with John Tavares and William Nylander. Engvall, by the way, has scored in back-to-back games. Back-to-back for him. He scored against LA. He also was suspended for an incident in that game for a high stick, but then came back and scored against Anaheim last game.
Draw to the right of Shesterkin. Tavares leaning in. And then they didn't drop the puck, and Tavares has just been waved out. Not sure if they're saying Engvall was responsible for it, but now Engvall's going to take the face-off. And the draw scrummed. It's sent around the boards to the near side. 7:40 to go in the third. And an icing call coming here against New York.
Then 18. Rangers have had a couple of decent scoring chances here in the third period. A couple coming off Leaf turnovers. There's one Zibanejad rifled one that Matt Murray seemed to miss with his glove, but get a piece of it with his left shoulder.
Leafs 12-0-3 in their last 15, and the team record is 16. Around into the corner it goes, back of the net. Engvall got it freed up. Here's a chance for Tavares in front of the goal, and Nylander was knocked down trying to get to it. Back at center, it's Engvall sending it in. Nylander in against the boards, couldn't come up with it. I think that was Brody in front of the net, not Nylander, who got knocked down, as it's whipped right back in again by Sandin. Chipped high to center ice by New York. Leafs starting to press a little bit here. Out a shot in again, and down the boards came Malgin, but couldn't come up with it. Played off the wall to center ice. Leafs with it once more to Zach Aston Reese. Into the corner for Kerfoot. One-handed back of the goal. David Kampf gets it back to the blue line. Shot in traffic was deflected wide of the Ranger net. Leafs onto it again. Kerfoot trying to get it freed up. And Zach Aston Reese can't keep it in. It'll come out into neutral ice. Leafs Kerfoot in again. On the wing, a drop pass looking for Kampf, but it bounced over his stick and has come to center. Giordano off the boards to the line. 2-1 Rangers. 6:15 to play here in period number 3. Launched into the Toronto zone by Condre Miller. He has it wedged up against the boards behind the goal line. Puck comes free. New York has it. And along the boards, Kravtsov had it taken away by Justin Hall. Kravtsov got it again, got it back to the point. Long shot wide of the goal. Again, the Rangers pressing here. And against the boards, Timmins trying to get the puck free but can't. Comes back to the point. Miller with a shot in traffic block. And the Leafs are going to punch it ahead. Here's Marner working it on line. Shot in off a pad. Swallowed up by Shesterkin.
Oh, clever play by Marner. Faked the slap shot and then tried to slide it 5-hole. But Shesterkin is able to make the stop just barely, as it almost stuck under his right pad.
2-1 New York. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. A goal by Jimmy Vesey at 15:33 of the second period is the difference in the hockey game as the Leafs trail 2-1. Hedl scored the opening goal of the game. Michael Bunting scored for Toronto. And just a second or so ago in playing time, Marner almost had the equalizer. Now here's Zibanejad trying to play it up the boards. He'll get it out into the center ice area. Rangers play it down to the Toronto zone. And now it is played ahead and up on the wing. It comes to Brody across the line for Nylander. Launched around back of the net. Brody couldn't get to it. Tavares ties up his man, but the Rangers get the puck out at center ice. Nylander turning with it there. Here's Willie coming to center and across the line into the slot. Tried to stick handle through, but he had it knocked away there by Adam Fox. Kept in at the line, but then Tavares took it back out at center ice. Leafs are changing. Timmins, a pass up on the right side. Backhanded in around the boards by Bunting. Played back into the corner, back of the net to Bunting in front. And it was off the toe of his stick and went harmlessly wide and back towards the blue line. Looked like a good scoring chance developing. Timmins up ahead for Bunting. Rink wide off the stick of Matthews. Going to roll in on goal and swallowed up by Shesterkin. At 4 minutes and 13 seconds remain in the third period. Toronto trailing the Rangers 2-1.
And even if this does in fact end the streak tonight. The Leafs aren't able to get a point to send this to overtime. And take some positives out of it. They're still in a game that has probably been their toughest in a couple of months as far as giveaways.
They win the face-off. Played around back of the Ranger goal. Cut off there by Trouba. He'll get it up on the wing and punch it out into the center ice zone. Matthews going back. Shots favor Toronto 22-19. Brought on by Bunting. Flipped high. No, it's actually Sandin, sorry. Couldn't get it in deep. And now it comes out into neutral ice. Hall backpedals into his own zone as the Leafs change. We'll try to keep a watch on Matt Murray to see when he might come out. Leafs bring it to the line and in on the right side. In goes Holmberg around back of the net. Couldn't bring the puck with him. Played by the Rangers off a body to center. Timmins will regroup it there with Brody. Played ahead and shot in over the line. Grabbed off quickly by New York. Schneider takes it to the boards. Leafs get there first. Trying to chip it around the wall to the near side. Timmins trying to play it in back of the net to an awaiting teammate. But it went off a shin pad and the Rangers get it out. Right back come Toronto. Camp backhands it back of the Ranger goal. Brody was in deep. Couldn't get a handle on Lindgren. Rangers now play it up on the left wing with 2:54 to go. Long shoot in, bounces wide of the goal where Murray is still in the net. Bouncing puck stolen by New York. In front of the goal with a shot. That's blocked. Still free. It goes into the corner and now it is Giordano getting it back of the net. Brody starts back for Toronto. Brody got it ahead. Deflects it to the line but quickly cleared by New York. 2.5 minutes to go. Right wing side. Engvall shooting it in. He's out there with Malgin this time. Lots of juggling going on for the Maple Leafs as it's played back into the Ranger zone. Got an advertising on there. I can't tell you the time. 2:12 now left to play in the period. Rangers back of the net with 2:07. Up at center, played into the Toronto end. Icing waved off. Murray still in the net. 2 minutes to go. He's edging out. Puck comes to center to Timmins. Timmins on the right side for Matthews. Matthews down the boards into the corner. Round back of the net. One hands it out to the far side. Back to the point it comes to Timmins. Extra attacker on the ice. Pass in front of the goal. Backhanded up, still in the goal crease. And it's cleared into the corner. Marner skipping it back to the blue line. Timmins keeping it in. Off his stick it goes to Tavares. He can't get it. Rangers get it out. At an empty net. Missed. Icing call. 1:25 left to play.
Well, Leafs again just can't get the handle of a bouncing puck in front of Shesterkin to put it away. This was a smart play. Mitch Marner just threw it to the net. A little one-timer to the top of the crease. Rattled around. Michael Bunting was there. Tavares was there. Neither could get their stick on it.
1:25 left in the third. Face off to the right of Shesterkin. And a point of order being asked about where everybody's supposed to be in the face-off circle. Mitch Marner's going to make a great linesman. Draw scrummed in the circle. One of the Rangers is still down on a knee. Played to the line and it's going to get out at center. Rangers with an empty net and in over the line and they'll ice it.
Well, maybe very close to a penalty again, Joe. You're not allowed to play the puck with your glove off the face-off, but the Leafs lose the draw, lose the battle, and Jimmy Vesey, the former Leaf, will get his second of the game. This one into an empty net with 1:13 to go to give the Rangers a 3-1 lead. Rasmus Sandin had to gamble and try to keep it in at the blue line. It got past him, and Vesey was off. Down the right wing side, looks up and slips it into the middle of the net. And it would appear the Leafs streak is going to end at 15.
I agree, Jimmy. That face-off, there had to be some face-off interference going on in there. Leafs get it back into the offensive zone, but the Rangers will flip it out at center.
I don't know what we got going here. The linesman is talking to the
Maybe they're going to discuss it after the fact.
Hey, we haven't really seen it a lot of late. Although I guess we shouldn't say it. Nazem Kadri scored against the Leafs when Calgary was in. But that always seemed... Yeah, is that not a glove off the face-off?
I think so.
The other streak, of course, 45 seconds to go, is that of Mitch Marner. And he is on the bench as we speak, so that streak looks as though it'll come to an end as well. For Marner, 23 games, 11 goals, 32 points. I don't know what he's upset with, but he's chirping at somebody, and they may have seen that face-off.
Yeah, I think they're looking at that face-off. And it is into the corner. Rangers trying to play it out. It is blocked at the blue line, now sent out in neutral ice. And back to retrieve it is Justin Holl. Holl will play it off the boards. So the Leafs will try to start a new streak when they tangle with the Capitals in Washington on Saturday night. We'll have that action for you shortly after the 7 o'clock hour.
Like we said, I think the most telling stat of this game right now, giveaways 28-9. Leafs 28 giveaways, the Rangers with just 9. That led to the go-ahead goal, probably going to be the winning goal off the stick of Jimmy Vesey in the second period.
So the draw in the New York zone. Scrum there as it comes back to the point. Hull got a shot away. A big rebound off Shesterkin. No one there to do any damage, and the Rangers get it out and get it down into the Leaf end. Hall against the boards now with Brody trying to free it up. It comes to Hall in front of the goal, and 6 seconds left to go in the game as Camp comes in over the line, puts the brakes on, looks for one last shot. He'll deliver it, but it's blocked, and there's the horn. So former Leaf Jimmy Vesey turns into the streak killer as he scores twice, once in the second and once in the third into an empty net. And the New York Rangers are full marks for a 3-1 victory over the Maple Leafs here tonight.
And in the category of meaning absolutely nothing when the Leafs streak ended in 2004, Mark Parrish, the New York Islanders, had 2 goals, including an empty netter, in a 3-1 win over the Leafs on Long Island. But for the Leafs, like I said, I think there's an underlying positive, which is they gave the puck away. Even though they gave the puck away a lot, their execution wasn't great in the offensive zone. They were still 1 shot away from sending this game to overtime against a team that was on a 4-game winning streak. So all good things might have to come to an end. But from a Leaf standpoint, you're going to say, boy, they weren't very good tonight in a lot of areas, and we're still right in it with a team that's been on a roll.
So in their last 22 games, they are 15-2-5.
You'll take that in most years, wouldn't you?
I would think so. So we'll see what happens in Washington on Saturday night. We've got Gord Stellick and Brent Gunning standing by with our post-game show as the Rangers and a number of streaks, including Mitch Marner's 23-gamer and the Leafs winning, or at least point streak, 1 shy of the club record of 16. Our player of the game is brought to you by Bet365. Bet365 is the world's favorite sports book with 80 million members worldwide. 19 plus. Play responsibly. Ontario only.
Well, we haven't had to make a tough decision like that, but you're going to have to give it to Jimmy Vesey. Scored a beautiful goal in the second period on a partial breakaway down on the right wing side, and throws in the empty netter just for fun against his former team. So the first time in a while, Mr. Bowen, it has not gone to a Toronto player.
Absolutely. And a 3-1 Ranger victory. And we'll send it off to the post-game show. You've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.